Oh, already I'm live. I don't know if it's dark in here. Maybe it's my computer. But the question is, were people thousands of years ago more, were they more together? Or did they have more unity in their families? Did they have more unity in business? And I say yes, far more unity than we have now. Americans have unity. Thousands of them might work for a car manufacturer and putting together a car, and they're making $20, $30 an hour, maybe $40 an hour. I don't know what the going rate is today, but they have far more unity in thousands of years ago. And I'm just going to use the example of the story in the Bible where they're trying to get to the top of they're going to be the Tower of Babel, I guess it was called. They was going to build a tower to heaven and see God face to face. They probably had things they wanted to talk to him about, and we have things we want to talk to him about today. But you don't have to build a tower. Uh, well, that whole study is amazing if you ever look it up or look up stuff on YouTube about it. Just amazing. But my point is, today I own Crossville.biz, and I'm going to type it here: www.crossville.biz. And what I do is I help the working poor make more money with a fraction of the cost it costs to get into any other business. Today, there's over, according to Google, I believe there's over 140,000 new websites every single day. Okay. Well, imagine if GoDaddy's gets half of that, right? 50,000. I doubt if they do, but they get a lot of it. But what happens is the value of even 10 websites and the hosting for a single family is far more valuable to a family. To GoDaddy's, they got 24-hour service. They will chat with you. Why did they do that? Why did he, a few years back, why was he able to spend $1 million on a commercial on the Super Bowl, and it made such a difference in his business? I don't know if it doubled it, but it gave a tremendous amount of more business, far more than $1 million. So I'm going to share with you today the value of 10 websites hosted by our franchise, Crossville.biz, is worth, if you had one person that joined the franchise, it's only $49 a month, and you can cancel anytime. One person in a year is going to make you almost $300 as a franchise owner, because they share 33% of the ongoing money with you. It's not multi-level, but it doesn't matter. Even if it was, it's a legal business. And they paid out $1 million last year in commissions. And they're celebrating that this year by giving away a car to the person that gets the most points. The 1 point for a $10 a month do-it-yourself website, and 2 points for a franchise. I'm not sure if it's 2 points for the 29 a month. You can have 15 websites. I don't know. I don't remember, but I'm just in competition with them. And this is a Beatles cup that my daughter gave me, and I like the Beatles. But 10 people can make you. It's costing $50 a month. A lot. If you can't afford that, you need to get 2 more jobs or 1 more job. There's work out there everywhere. Me and my wife, years ago, I was messed up and my head was messed up and I couldn't sell signs, and I'd sold signs where I'd made $1,000 my first week, and I got a dry point where, if your attitude goes down, you're in trouble. People don't want to listen to someone that says, "Oh, I want to do this or that. How about a sign?" Well, the presentation wasn't that. It was a powerful presentation that they have one guy today in Oklahoma that makes $250,000 a year and more. He's the top salesman, obviously. All he sells is hotshot digital signs to schools, and whereas one person's struggling to make 20,000, he's making 20,000 in clear in a week, every week. Difference in how you spend your time. Signtronics.com, they hire almost anybody. Just dress up, look good. You have to travel away from your home. You're not going to be able to make money in your hometown that well. But they got 10 people that are designers now for you. You just call up and they can email you a design in 15 minutes while you're talking to a businessman. Unbelievable, but lots of money to be made out there. Well, I like Crossville.biz. I own the site. I'm affiliate with what we call BA, the main people of it, but the $50 a month is a franchise fee that you can sell this business. You can do whatever you want with it. You can give it to your kids. You can will it. It's worth money, even if you have 10 people on your email list. Talk to me. I'll buy it, but if they're not fake emails. But typically anyone can get 100, 1,000 names on an email list, and they have a marketing system. Those names could be worth anywhere from $2 to $500. It depends on what you're selling or what you represent. Ours is worth, you figure if it's $10 to $49 franchises, if we had 10,000 names on there, minimum it could be worth is $10 because it draws that. That's one of our main things that we do market to. So 10,000, now that 10,000 names turns into, at a zero at the end, it's worth $100,000. So names are valuable, and it's more complex than that, but it doesn't matter. I don't want to get into it, but everybody has a capability. I've got a homeless guy that I'm working with that he's got cancer on his foot, and I'm going to soon put together something for him that, even though I do the work for him, I make less money as a residual, but he makes the major money. So he'll make the 50, 33, $10 the next week, and I'll make 33% of everybody he gets into, and because you get paid on two levels, the first level, your people, and then you get paid on their friends. So the percentages are amazing, but let's talk about 10 people. You get 10 people in, and those 10 people are on the franchise level. I shoot for franchises. I don't shoot for the other levels that they want. That's fine, but you're really getting a job if you get the $10 or the $29 level, because you're developing websites, and we've got enough jobs that I don't need a job. We make plenty of money. I don't have to work if I didn't want to. My wife makes more money than a lot of average people would do in 2 and 3 jobs, but she owns anotherblessing.net, and I'll put that on here. www.anotherblessing.net. That's our window business, home windows. We detail cars. That's when I jump in. I help detail cars, and at people's homes. It's mobile in the Nashville area. We go all the way to Crossville. We go all the way to Clarksville. When you make $200, $400 in one shot, $10, $20 of gas, ain't going to hurt you. And we often do cars and 2 cars at once. So that's where I'd work. My wife she's about to become the fastest window washer in the world. And we'll have to prove it. It's very complex in one way. It could cost us a couple $1,000s to be known on Guinness Book World Records, but she's game. She's good enough. But we're, my wife's 49. I'm 61, and she can beat anybody washing windows. That's why we make so much money on the window washing, not because We got high prices of this and that. I mean, it's typically $2 a window on a business window. It's $14 if you have the home. A lot more complex there. But she's good. She's fast. So she's like working 3 jobs because she's so fast. I mean, she can do some days 18 sets of business windows when most people in the window business can only do 8 or 10. And it's an unbelievable. I mean, we'd sell you a franchise for $15,000, and you'd have to come to Nashville and learn it. We're not going to pay you to hang around with us, but we'll buy your lunch and get you into a business if you're a person that can physically do this. I physically am not interested in doing windows. It's a lot harder than you think. I can detail a car for 4 or 5 hours out in the sun, but to do windows, 10 sets of business windows in the day, that's not my game. We've had a lot of people that are tough and strong, and their first day out, they're like, I can't do it. It's too hard. We have poles that go up 30 feet. We can go 3 stories up in the air. My wife handles those poles like it's a fishing pole. But and my wife, in time, I think she should. She wants to do the high rises. That's 100 stories up. She could jump out of a building with a parachute, hopefully, and she's not afraid of heights. She could hang upside down in a helicopter if it was safe by her feet, and she would get a thrill out of it. Well, I would probably have a heart attack and die. But that's some stuff off the side. But I wanted to bring up hand-painted card. Painted card. Handpaintedcard.com. Best names to buy, but I own others. The reason that's a cool site is that we're developing a site that we're sending out cards that we will have employees or our kids that they'll sign them and actual cards. You take a 8.5 by 11 cardstock, folded in half, and laser print color on it, and unbelievable cards. And we can mail them out right from our house that day. Often, sometimes it may take 2 days, but then they get them in the mail a few days later. $7. We're not going to make a whole lot of money doing cards, but there's a lot of marketing involved with the hand-painted cards. Is that we're going to have models and talent and singers that are not your superstars, but in their own world, they're better than some of the superstars. We're going to have them on cards. There's a video there of a girl in Venezuela that we do business with, the most beautiful girls in the world over that side. Very wholesome. I asked her not to be too sexy because I wanted this video for family. And she takes Ed Sheeran's song, and instead of giving me a 30-second video, she gives me a 4-minute video, and it's unbelievable. My relationship with Ed Sheeran, YouTube, because I own that video, after 100,000 hits, you can make a lot of money. And once you start hitting 1 million hits, there's a lot of money in 1 million if you know how to advertise. Of course, our friend Al Mahan, he's a preacher, and we've got, I'm trying to think, the video dot crossville dot biz. He's got his parody that I've decided I'll just park, which is, nothing wrong with that. I parked his video on my page. Well, it's the funniest cleanest little parody you've ever seen. It's a Dean Martin parody that you can legally do that. And he's got 2.5 million hits. He is not making a penny because he has no relationships established. I could help him whenever he wants. If he ever wants it, I'll help him make he can make $2,000 to $20,000 to $500,000 a year if it would talk to enough people. And it's talking to 2.5 million right now, or has. And the last couple of years, it's going viral for whatever. Well, one, it's just very funny. It's very good. It's clean. It doesn't have scenes in it that are ugly or just trying to get you in. Some guy looking at girls. It's all clean stuff. He's a preacher. He's not going to put something together and put his name behind it and just put it out there just to get hits. So his hits are probably baby boomers, people that like Dean Martin, people that like parodies about that song. It's hard to say, but I guarantee you he is not even doing any tags. He's not doing any advertising in the backside that people would be searching for. So he could literally turn that into, with my help, where he would get tens of millions of people hitting it. And you got to know what you're doing. Well, I can't do something with nothing, but I can do a lot with something. I know that sounds kind of weird, but if someone's put up something that ain't worthy and this and that, and you try to promote it, you might be able to get hits, but you're not going to make any money because it's either average or distasteful. Hits mean nothing. And even click-throughs are good, but if it's not making money, it's just entertainment. And YouTube's okay with that because they make a lot of money from you and even me getting hits. And they know what they're doing. When you hit that, they know how old you are, where the page came from. They know a lot of information about you. They might not know how old you are, but they know what part of the world you're coming from. And because of your behavior, they in turn can advertise to the millions of people with the same interest on your click. So you might think, oh, I spend a lot of time watching videos, this and that. Well, go for it, because you're making YouTube a lot of money. And so back to this. The story I think I shared was Babylon climbing to the tower. 10 people makes in Crossville.biz. If you're on the franchise level, it only pays on the franchise level. You make the $50 and then you make 33%. And I figured it up, and it's about for that level, it's about a little less than $300 a year. But once you get someone in and they buy a .com, which may cost $8 a year or up, they're not going to leave. They develop it. They do their website. They do their marketing. They have a 95% retention rate because they have the best system of its sort right there. There's other companies that try to do the same thing, but they're like multi-level. You get the third pay, it bumps up to your other person and goes back and forth, and you could literally make no money because it keeps bumping back and forth, and it's confusing as tar to try to figure out when you're going to make. They have a 95%, I'm not going to mention the name, it doesn't matter. They have a 95% rate of people dropping out. And because they have nothing, but they make money because you have to buy your .com through them, so they inflate everything. If you want your .com to put somewhere else, it's not in GoDaddy, so you just can't transfer. They might charge you $30 to do that, and they have multiple things, and then it takes you 3 months to get your name out of it. It's like they're a pawn shop for websites, so they have tens of thousands of people that have their .com stuck there. Or you can pay a forwarding fee, and they make money from that every year. Well, GoDaddies don't charge for a forwarding fee, but they will make $300 a year by buying SSL, which is HTTPS. It's just a racket. They can make $1,000 a year from you, even though you buy a .com from them. They will scoop all the money out of your wallet to make you think you got something going. And the webmaster knows better. They don't deal. They buy the name. That's it. They might host. That's a very complex thing if you're hosting through GoDaddies, but where the hosting in Crossville.biz is free. The HTTPS is free. I don't know what this secure certificate that you buy from GoDaddy's is, but you don't need it. It's another way to make money, to have a little stamp on your website that obviously it's secure if it says HTTPS. But it's almost like saying to a car guy that I just fixed your starter. It's only, you know, $80 plus the part, but I'll give you a sticker for $20 a year saying I fixed that starter and it's safe to start your car. You know, got a little sticker up there. It's like the oil guy changing your oil, and he puts a sticker up there. But no, you're going to pay $20 a year to have that sticker. That's it's ridiculous. It's goofy, but that's what GoDaddy's gets away with. And hey, they're big. They have millions of people involved with them. He does not lack cash flow, and and I'm not saying it's unfair. His prices are fair in the market, just a little inflated. And prices that you can get stuff for free. That's why if you want counsel, talk to me, talk to someone in this business that knows what in the world's going on. If you buy the .com from the wrong person, you can spend the rest of your life trying to fix it, and it becomes a nightmare because your webmaster is like, well, having trouble with his marriage, and he doesn't have time to get to you right now. He's in the hospital, and just lots of trouble. I'm not saying anything wrong with being in the hospital, but I know people that are webmasters that when they're sick, they put 100, 200 people on the just hanging in the air because they're so small. They can't updo your website. They can't give you their name. If they die, there's no security that your website is lost in hyperspace. They have the passwords, they have everything. And so it's never good to have someone else hold their name, you know, your .com, because if worse comes to worse and someone's hosting for you is one thing. But if someone owns your name, you're in trouble, because if they ever get sick, your 10 years of having the website are now frozen in hyperspace. And even when it comes time to renew their website, if they're dead, it's going to be a struggle to get it back. It's I mean, you might end up spending $500, $1,000 for someone to chase around the right rings to be able to prove that that was your name, or you might have to wait 3 months to a year to even get the name again, and then you have no website. So this stuff is complex, guys. You better talk to someone that knows something, or that's in a big group like me. We have Facebook meetings. We have internet meetings with the owner of the company. There's 400 videos in the back office, even if you're paying $10 a month. So it's valuable. Just call my 800 number if you ever have any questions. You got to leave a message the first time, because I don't answer on the first shot. But that's my 800 number. If you want to get a hold of me, good morning .am. That's my email. I own hundreds of them, but you can get a hold of me, and I can help answer your questions while I have time. Sometimes, right now, I'm pretty busy, but I'll do what I can, or I can have some of our family or some of my associates get a hold of you. But that's it for now. But I'm just saying that let's unite in families. Let's unite with friends. I've got people participating in what I do in Australia, Venezuela, and different countries. I'm trying to talk to someone in China right now. It's not China, it's by China. I'm not even sure if they're communists. It'd be hard to talk to someone in China, I think. But I'm talking to her and her family, and I wanted to get involved in this. I think they live in Taiwan, but language barrier, but you got translators online, so it's not a problem. But the people I like to get involved with this program, because in a few years you can be making $20,000 a month, and I know people that are making close to that. There's a lady in our group that has one leg. She's older. She's got to be close to my age, 60, 61, 55, I don't know. And she's a super marketer. I mean, she's sitting there while she's talking to the thing, and it goes cha-ching, and she's got another sale without even talking to people. It's all internet stuff. And I want to do mine sometime like that so I can hear the money coming in. So it's fun on the internet. If you say something good, you could be making 3 commissions that are ongoing because of an advertisement out there. I did an advertisement in the hand-painted card, the video on there, the girl did a thing where I had 50,000 hits or views and 500 click-throughs from 3 days that I spent $7 on Facebook. You got to know what you're doing. In the right markets, that could have made 500 click-throughs. Some people get 50% of their click-throughs to buy. In turn, they could end up making $5,000 a month just from one $7 ad on Facebook. That's why I'm in this. I'm not in it for me. We make enough money. If I wanted to get my retirement next year, I could sit back and go fishing all the time. But this, all in all, takes so little time that you can make money when you spend your time properly, and make residual money with doing half an hour of stuff here and there. This right here is not just for informing us some information. I'm hoping some of you join my team. And I hate this video. It's got the next view. It should be up here, but I'm just sitting in our other house in the 3-bedroom. In the 5-bedroom, because the Wi-Fi's connection here is a little better. And we're cheap like everybody else. I don't want to pay for Wi-Fi on the 2-bedroom house we live in, because it picks up pretty good at the top of the hill, 150 feet away. But I'm not going to pay another $100 a month for Wi-Fi up there when I can get pretty good. But I can't run a bunch of things at the same time like I do down here. It's really strong. And there's Wi-Fi boosters. I know about all that stuff, but I am where I am. But anyway, happy Sunday. If you've listened to this whole thing, I've got free gifts for you. Just email me and call my 800 number, and I'll give anybody that asks, I'll give them a free gift of some sort or another. If you live in the central Tennessee, I'll give you discounts we give no one for windows or cars. Tell me about where you live. If you live in Nashville, if you live in Crossville, we do business. And when we was with Angie's List, there was times that we were doing 300 extra details a year, because their advertisement was only $70 a month, and we were making sometimes $4,000 from that one $70 advertisement. But sorry to say, I will not. Angie's List was sold to Home something or other for like $500 million. They're not the same company. The last year we paid $70 a month. We literally made 3 sales from them, where the year before we were making hundreds of sales. And it was all because it was in between the sales. They didn't want to pay any more money out, so they did no advertising for us. And all the people that were paying as merchants lost. And they lost our trust and our everything. Probably thousands of people, because I call that a cheater, we even didn't pay them the last few months, and they could legally sue us. But you know why they're not? Because they knew they were giving nothing for that $70 a month for a year. And Angie, when she sold that and made $500 million or somewhere around there, you think she cared? She's sitting in Hawaii drinking drinking Mai Tais or whatever they call them. $500 million is a lot of cash. I mean, you just can't spend it. You got to know what to do with it. But my testimony for them is there's cheaters in this world, and when it comes time to bail out or they make money, they'll cheat you on the way out. We had one customer in the window business that she knew she was going out. She was paying probably a couple $1,000s a month in rent in Franklin. And she said with Jamie, I mean, I think for the business windows was only charging $20 a month. And she says, you're going down with the ship with me. For every month I'm here, we're paying that $20. We might have been doing like 5 windows for them in a route. And that's the thing to do. We've got her email today and her telephone number in our phone, and she's a valuable person. Anything she ever does, we will jump aboard. There was a little software thing that cost $3 a month years ago that answered your phone. And they were so good that we ended up spending $20 a month for all the different accessories they have. Well, you can afford that, but when good service is there, you buy everything they do. And we also own a goodmorning.am, which is a site that we're turning into a secret shopper in a way. It's very complex to try to tell you how it goes, but we secretly shop people that don't even ask for our service and give them the results if they call our 800 number. And we require the owner to do it. We're not going to tell the manager. If they don't want to know, that's fine. But we secretly shopped them, and a lot of them failed. Even millionaire companies that make $500,000 a month fail because they have great service through the owner, but the people they have working with them are skittish. They can't talk right. They're not prepared. And then when you exit out of their company and you're paying $400 a month and you exit and they're like, well, I see you found something different, Well, if the main person would have been on there, he wouldn't have had, if you're paying $400 a month for information of internet stuff and you bail out because you're not going to pay that every month, and it's not a contract. The worst thing they did in that situation with us was that they were light and like, well, you're out of here. Typically, you would have got a half an hour chat on how to do different things, and very smart people. But even within the system he had 6 people that work for him, they make $500,000 a month. When I bailed out, the owner would have said, "Oh man, it's been great to have you. We just, I hope you enjoy all the things we've given you, and the marketing stuff and the booklet it's just tons of information. Anytime you get a chance to come back, we always got new, exciting information to share with you." Boom, he would have had me. Right then, I'd be like, well, the next time, a few months from now, we have different money flows, I'll jump right back in. But because of his sloppy people that work for him, no, I'm not going to go back there. The only time it was worth it was when the owner was there. Some of their information is dynamite, but a marketer studying a multimillionaire's information can study that information for years, and it doesn't go out of date. It works. But anyway, I hope this ain't too boring for you. Internet stuff is always kind of boring. DannyJohnson.com if you really want to do a business. Johnson.com is one of the we spent months studying her free stuff, and then we went to her seminar. It cost us about $1,000 between 2 of us, me and my wife, and we doubled our business twice because of her information. Our window business. I mean, she doesn't do a whole lot of how to make money on the internet, but they know how to. But Multimillionaire. She was homeless uh, at 19, I believe, in Hawaii. Good place to be homeless. And within 2 years, she became a millionaire. She was on, what's the name of that? Secret Millionaire, a series that's hard to find, but it was really cool how it worked. It was a little series that one of the major networks put on. And they pretended like they were broke and didn't have credit cards and lived in the slums for a week. And they went and volunteered their times to charities. And Danny Johnson went to Knoxville. And the soup kitchen there, they had two like 80-year-old women that were twins. She went there. She ended up giving away at the end of the week $20,000. And they thought she was an average Joe little volunteer, like they often get. There's a lot of good people out there, rich and poor. But she was pretending to be poor. So at the end of the week, she says, "Well, I'm actually a multimillionaire." And to be a part of that show, you had to have at least you'd have to have the ability to write a $10 million check out today and it'd clear. And that's Danny Johnson. And but we've met her. We went to her seminar. We watched tons of her videos. We're part of some of her stuff that she has on the line. But when we went to see her, I mean, there was 1,000 business people there. She's amazing. She's a Christian. She baptized. She preaches. She's like a Dave Ramsey on fire with God. I mean, I don't know what to say. Dave Ramsey's good too, but she's never been to Dave Ramsey, and that's her competition. If I was her, I'd go to some of Dave Ramsey's stuff. He's a good guy. But anyway, I got to get to church. I got to take some food, pick up some buns because we're going to the nursing home, and we sing every month in Smithville, Tennessee, to the nursing home, and about 10 of us or more will sing songs of their generation and some Christian songs, and they just have a ball. There might be 20 people with dementia, or 30 or 40, some in the hallways, and it's just a great thing to do. You know, the people, our preacher, Al Mahan, unbelievable. I've got to show you, is it the video? The video. I'm checking right now and make for sure. Okay, this is one of my pages. I'm going to copy it. And the funniest video, I'm telling you. I don't know if I put this on here. See, I've been on here so long, and this froze up, so I had to do it again. But this parody's on there. That's the funniest parody, the cleanest parody I've ever seen. And our preacher put it together. He's got 2.5 million hits, and he's not making a penny. I just found this out about a week ago. And I told him I've invited him anytime he wants to make money. I'll show him how to do it. But maybe I'm just John Rourke, average guy, that he watched me go from poor to making a little bit of money, and driving a Jaguar now, and newish cars. We don't like to buy brand new cars, but I'm like a brother to him. I mean, he doesn't see me as someone that could help him make thousands of dollars. So he's not going to act on it, but he's sitting there with a website or a video that he owns and not making a penny. If you want to look up Rick Roll, it's the same thing's happened to him. Rick Aston, I can't think of his last name, but he was an 80s guy that had 40 million hits on YouTube playing a joke on him. And if his YouTube relationship would have been in order, he could have made hundreds of thousands of dollars a year from that, or even on that one day. He could have literally made, with his reputation, he could have made $10-20 million in a day. But he had no relationship. His songs weren't even copyrighted properly, so they didn't pay him for his song being played 40 million times. So that, if you have your stuff in order, They pay you for that. He made $12 in a day. Whoa, boy, you know. But he's not poor. I mean, he's worth $16 million today, according to Google. But he, you know, who can't use an extra, you know, 20, 30 million or 200,000? It's hard to say how. I mean, the way you promote something, if you promote it with someone with a big name, you make a lot more. If you promote it with their permission, you make a lot more. If you do it on your own, you can